Is it on Google Drive?
Yeah, it's in that. There's a document there called the count.
Professor at Yonsei University.
Okay. Very nice. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, well, yeah, this is the day and age of us having more than one career.
Authentic.
It's loading the stream.
I have the client software for the test.
이쪽으로 아니면 컴퓨터 필요해? 어때요?
So, you know why? I think the net is down.
So when you're finished, I'll wait until 3 another question, okay?
Sure.
That's the...
갈게요. 네, go.
Could you introduce yourself?
Sure, my name is Andre Wegner. I am the founder and CEO of Authentise, a 3D streaming service.
What is your role in 3D printing? I think you as a middleman will make the money at the end. All the money.
Hopefully. What we do is we stream designs into printers so that designers or content owners don't have to share the actual raw design file with whoever wants to print it. A lot of designers don't want to release high quality content because they're afraid that somebody will replicate it or steal it or share it. And so the industry is, I would say, content poor because the top quality content is not shared with the people who have printers. So we have developed an application that we sell to websites that have 3D content, and through that application we stream the design command by command directly into the printer instead of sharing the raw design file. That's the first step for us to provide that service, and that's the service we currently sell.
How do you see the market that you are expecting?
So our market, I should start, wait for 3 seconds, why don't I? So our market is, what we think the market will look like in 3D printing is not necessarily one that is taking advantage only of the freedom of design that 3D printing allows, but one that takes advantage of the freedom of location that 3D printing creates. We believe that 3D printing will drive what we call a distributed manufacturing future, where products are made closer to the point of use. And our company is based solidly on the belief that spare parts for planes and cars and machines will be made where they are needed, not in one single location and spread around the world. So for that reality to happen, intellectual property is obviously important because owners of designs don't want to share that. But so are many other things, for instance, quality control and integration with your existing management systems and things like that are also important. So we're working on those tools as well.
What is your relationship with the SU and your academic background?
So personally, personally, the company was, I ran a venture capital fund in Nigeria for 4 years before I joined SU, and SU was instrumental in helping us form the idea, and it's been instrumental since. But when I first came to Singularity, I was a student here in 2012. I had just come from Nigeria where I'd witnessed a plane crash, and 160 people died. And one of the reasons that these plane crashes happen is that a supply chain failure, is that it takes a long time to get a part into the country. And as a result, the airlines sometimes are incentivized to keep the plane flying even though they know something is broken. And to combat that reality, I realized 3D printing was a good weapon. And I learned about 3D printing in detail at Singularity that summer when I came. And since then, Singularity has been very supportive in giving us the tools and the relationships that we need to succeed. So most of our major clients have come through a Singularity connection.
Did you get some sort of funding? How do you do financially?
So one of the things we do, in addition to selling the API that I just mentioned, is we help very large corporations understand what future supply chains look like and experiment with systems that will help them take advantage of this new landscape. That's how we finance ourselves, is through services that that work along this distributed manufacturing landscape and help big companies understand. That's not what we currently, we don't raise money. We have very little intention of raising money in the future. If we can keep on funding us this way, then it's a great thing.
In the future, how will your work disrupt any other industries, if there are any?
So obviously, currently, supply chains are a major cost to society. We spend in America roughly 8.5% of our GDP moving things from A to B, and we spend roughly another 8.5% of GDP storing them at B, right? So my point is, everybody that's involved in this value chain of manufacturing objects in a central location, let's say maybe in China, moving that object to where it's being consumed, storing that object, retailing that object, these are all industries that will be disrupted in how we, through our new distribution system. Now, it's not only, obviously 3D printing will not manufacture everything. Most objects are mass manufactured, and this mass manufacture you cannot beat with a 3D printed object. But there are a lot of products, and we believe that up to 10% of everything that we consume will be 3D printed and remotely 3D printed in the future. So this is a 10-15 year time frame window. But that's what we're looking at. So there's trillions of dollars changing the way it's produced today to the way it's being produced in the future.
What sort of a sector or field will be the first target? The airplanes, parts, clothes, shoes?
That's a great question. What we think are likely target markets are end-of-life products. Okay, so classic cars is a good example there. Or objects with a high downtime cost, where every second counts. An oil rig, for example, every day it's out of commission costs the oil company millions of dollars, $1.2 million. And when an A380 is grounded, it costs roughly $1.2 million a day to keep that plane on the ground and not flying. So there's a lot of cost involved in keeping things not moving and not working. So the spare parts provisions for those objects, as well as the spare parts for objects that are no longer being produced, those are the two industries that are likely to be disrupted first. And as 3D printing then gets cheaper and better at what it does, that's when the industry can broaden its reach, so to speak.
Who are you working with at the moment?
We have a list of clients on our website, and they're mostly 3D printing marketplaces right now. And then we work with Fortune 100 companies that want to know how 3D printing will play out in their production value chain. And those are our service partners, and we can't say who they are at the moment, but they are very interesting brands and manufacturers and retailers involved in that space. So let's say you are CG Trade is one of our clients. They sell 3D printable designs, right? They're a great website. They just got funded by Intel Capital. And you see, you can go here and let's say you like an object, you like this object, okay? You can go and you can select, okay, you can buy the actual raw design file for $4, right? And so you can see it's printed 0%. And it's only a very small object because I don't want to waste your time. But this website has already integrated us. If you go to Authentise.com,
Can I see the
cgtrader.com,
cgtrader.com?
yeah.